For example, Bulle Shah asked his disciples to dance, whereas some orthodox Sufi master wouldn't approve of dance and music. But Bulle Shah said, dance. Nach nach ke yaar mana le, bhaਵੇਂ ਕੰਜਰੀ बनना ਪੈ ਜਾਵੇ. No, O beloved, that man was not created in jest or at random. No, O beloved, that man was not created in jest. Jest means hurry, jiffy. O beloved, that man was not created in jest or at random, but marvelously made, and for some great end. For thousands of years, Sufism has offered a path on which one can progress towards the great end of self-realization or God-realization. Sufism is a way of love, a way of devotion, and a way of knowledge. Love, devotion, knowledge. 3 points. There is no single systematic approach to Sufi teachings. That's the beauty, isn't it? There is not a single systematic approach. Every Sufi master designed a tailor-made way for its disciples that could suit the temperament of his disciples, so that nobody finds it difficult to adopt spirituality. Therefore, there is not even one single systematic approach. So many different types of approach. And always it is designed and generated by an individual Sufi master. For example, Bulle Shah asked his disciples to dance, whereas some orthodox Sufi master wouldn't approve of dance and music. But Bulle Shah said, dance. Nach nach ke yaar mana le, bhaਵੇਂ ਕੰਜਰੀ बनना ਪੈ ਜਾਵੇ. Dance until you succeed to please your Lord. Nach nach ke yaar mana le, bhaਵੇਂ ਕੰਜਰੀ बनना ਪੈ ਜਾਵੇ. So the point that I wanted to make here is that Sufism doesn't have a single systematic approach. It's not like he sits in a circle and every day he does zikr, and that is for everybody to adopt. Many different ways. His Holiness Sarkar Gohar Shahi said, some of those Sufi saints, they asked their disciples to do masonry, to build a wall. It's no form of worship. And people were beguiled and astounded. What kind of Sufi practice is building a wall? And when they would have built the wall, the master would come back again and would say, demolish it. What? We spent the entire day building the wall, and once the wall is complete, you want me to demolish it? And then His Holiness Gohar Shahi said, some of the Sufi masters recommended for their disciples to dance in a rhythm and dance to a certain tempo. And this tempo was important. The way they were advised to dance was like you are making a sudden move, and this would make their heartbeats go high. So His Holiness Gohar Shahi revealed the fact behind building the wall and then demolishing it, and then asking the disciples to dance, and then those who adopted a way of loud chanting of God's name, that also gives rise to your heartbeats. So the main purpose of doing all these different activities was to increase your heart rate. Because when the heart rate is prominent, only then you can synchronize God's name with the heartbeats. Now that was the code. And His Holiness Gohar Shahi decoded it. Otherwise, people would always complain, what kind of Sufi was Bulle Shah? He asked people to dance. What dance? What would dance get you? Why should one build a wall? People were beguiled. They didn't have a clue. A lot of people who went against these Sufis were those who were clueless about these different Sufi codes. They didn't understand it. But His Holiness Gohar Shahi decoded it and said the purpose of those Sufis who asked their disciples to build a wall was not to make them waste their time, but the idea behind all those activities was to give rise to their heart rate. And once the heart rate is achieved and the heart beats become prominent, then they would say, forget about the wall now, forget about the dance now, sit down and with every beat of your heart, synchronize God's name. अब नाचने को छोड़ो, अब दीवारों को छोड़ो, अब ये जो दिल की धड़कनें उभर गई हैं, अब इनके साथ अल्लाह अल्लाह मिलाओ. So that's the main point. So always remember, in Sufism, there is not even one single systematic approach. It is designed by individual Sufi masters who would definitely cater for the needs and temperaments of his disciples. For example, if the disciples are from India, the chances are that the Sufi master would recommend dance, because Indians love dancing. Pakistanis also do, but they're suppressed by mullahs. So there is no single systematic approach to Sufi teachings. And not all of his teachings can be communicated in words. The wisdom of Sufism can be found in stories, poetry, art, calligraphy, rituals, exercises, readings, dance movements, and prayers. Sufism is often described as a path suggesting both an origin and a destination. The aim of Sufism is the elimination of all veils between the individual and God. This is the aim, to uplift the veils between men and God. This is all Sufism is about.
TV, bringing light, love, and peace in your life.